Well, good thing comes to those who wait, and better thing comes to those who don't wait and don't stop. That's what we have, uh, as proven by one of our students who's going to join us today to share his success story about how he cracked his dream SBI PO job while already working in Canara Bank. We have Hemant here joining us today, who has cracked the SBI PO 2018 recruitment process, and he will be sharing his, preparation journey and the strategy with us, which I'm sure will inspire most of you. And I hope all of you take a great amount of inspiration from him and learn a lot about his preparation strategy, which you may apply if suitable to you, to yourself, and get started with your dream career in the banking sector or the government sector as early as possible. So let's all welcome Hemant, who's live with me here, and learn from him about his preparation strategy and his success story. So Hemant, welcome to TalentSprint.
Hi Rohit, thank you.
Yeah, I hope all of you are able to see Hemant. So Hemant, at the outset, congratulations for cracking the SBI PO 2018. Well, there's no second thoughts that this is one of the toughest exams in the country, given the competition that we have, right?
Thank you.
So I'm sure you must be feeling proud about yourself, and so must be your family and friends there, and definitely the team TalentSprint is, right? So congratulations, very well done job, and we wish the best for your career ahead.
Thank you.
You can, if you can see the chat, there are a lot of wishes being showered on you from our students here. So congratulations for that.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
So Hemant, let's get started with knowing something about yourself. Why don't you introduce yourself to our friends here, to our students here, who are also preparing for bank and government exams like you did?
Yeah. Hello, I'm Hemant. I've been a TalentSprint user for last 2 years actually, and to be honest, before cracking SBI PO, I'm working as a Canara Bank clerk, and for a Canara Bank exam also, I had used TalentSprint. So I should say TalentSprint is one of the major part in my examination preparations. Apart from that, I was born in Delhi, brought up in Mumbai, and currently I did BE Electronics and Communication. Currently working in Canara Bank in Karnataka.
All right, so that's a good intro about yourself in a nutshell, Hemant. So born in Delhi, brought up in Mumbai, working in Bangalore, I assume. So you're like covering all the major cities of the.
Yes. Well, I can say my father was a banker too, so transferable job, and I get to grow in multiple places.
Good. So now I understand where you're drawn your inspiration from, right? Your father was also a banker, so that must be the real source of inspiration. Because while you credit your success to TalentSprint, some part of it to TalentSprint, I would like to take a very, very small part of it, because while the platform has brought the best of the content and the strategy for all of you, I always believe that it is the practice that you did and the efforts that you have put in that made you whatever you are today. Because if it was the platform, then everybody who's using the platform should have gotten a job, right? But that isn't really the truth, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
only a few or a handful of you get selected. So I think the credit goes to you. Thank you for acknowledging the part of TalentSprint there. But I think you should take pride in whatever you achieved, right?
Yes.
And many more congratulations to you from all our students here.
Thank you, everyone.
So, good. So you're working in Canara Bank now.
Yes.
As a officer or a clerk?
No, right now I'm working as a clerk in Canara Bank.
Okay, so you're working as a clerk, and you must have got this through IBPS clerks.
Yeah, IBPS clerical I cleared in 2017. 2017.
Yes. Good. So that's what I was trying to tell you as a part of the introduction, right? Like they say, good things come to those who wait. I think better things comes to those who don't wait, and you should not wait and you should not stop. And that's what Hemant did, right? While he had already got a bank job, that too in Canara Bank, which is one of the largest banks in the country, and of course he had got a clerical cadre post there, but then he wished to move up the ladder. And
I didn't think that I should stop there. I think I should where better opportunities there, I should at least try, and I just took up the opportunity.
Right, exactly. And he's here today, gonna join soon as a probationary officer in State Bank of India, which I'm sure brings a lot of social status in addition to whatever remuneration you get and the kind of job satisfaction that you have in a very stable job. But I hope you don't stop there and you just plan and move ahead.
Yeah, I'll just say I just started taking steps.
Right.
Just started.
Good. So very, very glad to meet you, Hemant, through this live session. I hope we can, meet in person sometime.
Sure.
And like you're aware, a lot of our aspirants, students are connected with you now from different parts of the country. So guys, you can start asking your questions. This is a session, a meet the winner session, like what we did on last Saturday as well. I hope many of you were part of it, where we had two other students. Hemant, this is also for your information. We had two other students named Jishnu and Anand, who had cracked the SBI PO 2018. And they were with us, one from the studio in Hyderabad itself, and the other person was from Amravati in Maharashtra. So we are trying to arrange such sessions so that you can share your strategy and motivate the future aspirants. So we have something from Dhyanesh Pandey here, one of our students. He says, Hemant, as you succeeded in SBI examination and you use this platform, please tell us how to utilize this platform in its fullest capacity, so that we can also be like you. Now, that's a very, very generalized question, Pandey. He wants you to help them understand how to make the most of this platform, fullest in its fullest capacity, so that they can also be like you. But I think before we jump into that, why don't you tell us about your preparation strategy? I'm sure it began in 2017 when you were preparing for IBPS clerks, but how did you manage to get into IBPS clerks? And then what did you do after getting your job, which made you get this SBI PO today? Because a lot of students, a lot of aspirants across the country have this question always in their mind, that I am a working professional. Should I quit my job or should I not?
Yes.
Because what if I quit my job? If I don't get selected, then I have nothing in hand. But then while working, preparation is not as easy. But I think you have proven all of them wrong. And like I always say, you don't have to leave your job for this, right? 3 to 4 hour preparation a day is enough to crack this exams. But why don't you share your overall preparation story, and then we'll jump into these fine questions here.
Sure, no problem. Before even cracking the IBPS clerical in 2017, I started preparing, I was preparing only 4 hours a day. Even at that time also 4 hours a day was my preparation. I didn't load myself with all of the things I had to do. All I did was I used to plan my weekdays. 2 days a week I would do only quantitatives, 2 days a week I'll do reasoning, and Sunday would be like a mixture of everything. But I will not strain myself with taking like 8 hours or 7 hours. I'll sit and do nothing. I used to take like dividing 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the evening. That was my preparation before joining the clerical. So once I cracked the IBPS clerical and started working, my job was fixed for 10 to 5. But the thing is that my posting was done around 50 kilometers from my house. So like every day I had a travel of 1 hour from one side. So I thought instead of wasting that time, I started using that time for my preparation of SBI PO as well. So even after working also, I was investing 4 hours for studying for the PO of SBI. In the meanwhile, as our dear friend Pandey has asked about how to use the platform and all, I would just say, the platform already has vast resources to be used. They have shown us a lot of ways. All we need to is that use it according to our convenience. I couldn't attend as Rohit takes a lot of sessions. I was actually unable to attend a lot of his sessions. So what I used to do is after coming home, I used to go back to the video lectures of the same days and watch it for a while. And I would skip it, but I would only take up the key points and start working on them. Half an hour a day, 1 hour a day. In the night, I used to work and just slept it off. In the morning, I didn't do anything. I just wake up and go to work and come back. So all my preparation, all my study was done in traveling and in the night after the dinner. That was how I have planned my time. I won't say that this would work for everyone, because everyone mindset is different. But for me, this was how I worked for myself.
All right, so that's wonderful, Hemant. I think that in fact is the best use of the platform, I would say, because like you all know, the platform by TalentSprint gives you the flexibility to learn, not just anytime, anywhere, but also any device, right? You can use any device to get ready, and you actually have made the best use of it by learning while on the go, right? While you're traveling. Yes. So to summarize what Hemant has mentioned, he says that even before getting his IBPS clerk's job, he never strained himself or took too much of stress. 3 to 4 hours a day is what he spent preparing on various subjects, and he used to just take up 1 or 2 topics a day, be it reasoning or aptitude or English language for that matter, and then kind of do a revision and
joint session
a little deeper on weekends, on Sundays, right?
Yes.
And that's what made him get his IBPS clerk's job. And after getting the job, once he has a full-time job, it is
No, it
spend as much time. At least we believe that it is difficult to spend so much of time. But then while the job was not, it didn't have a kind of, he didn't have very long office hours there. I think 10 to 5 still is long, but then travel was
included.
50 kilometers is what you had mentioned? 50 or 15?
50. 50.
So are you telling me that you used to travel 50 kilometers a day each side?
One way. That's one way.
That's one way.
Yes. Like almost 1 hour from one side.
100 kilometers of travel a day.
Yes.
And I think the best use of that time is to learn something, right? So
that's the idea. That's what I said. Like 1 hour on one side, I used to spend. So for first 1 to 10 days, I thought, okay, my 2 hours are every day is being wasted on just travel. Why not I put it to some use? So I started whatever the written material or PDF material is available, I copied it to my phone and started going through them on the go. And whenever I get even half an hour time or 15 minutes time, I'll just crack 1 or 2 problems and just keep on practicing whenever you get time. That's it. So if you have a mindset to work on something, it would surely come into fruition.
Good. I think that's really wonderful. So all I can say is you've made the best use that one can of the platform here. And we have a flood of questions coming in from our students. Let me pick up something very interesting that I've just seen. This is from Praveen Kumar. He says, as you were working in Canara Bank earlier and still continued preparing and cracked the SBI PO, kindly share your practical experience there. There, I think he means the Canara Bank, right? Practical experience in Canara Bank. And he is also curious to know how helpful was that experience in cracking the probationary officer's exam?
Okay.
How did your job help you crack this exam?
Okay. In a way, yeah, Canara Bank's experience was different because as a workman, as a clerk there, my job responsibility not as much as a PO, and my responsibility I was a cashier. To be, frankly speaking, cashier, but I used to handle everything, accounts and everything. So what helped me from Canara Bank is that it helped me know the basics of banking. What is in banking, which are the areas are there, advances, accounts, all those. I got the exposure in those fields, and it also Canara Bank's systems helped me keep in track with banking activities, current information about banking, everything, recent coming laws or upcoming circulars, RBI's recent decisions, all I was immediately getting before even it was becoming a public knowledge. So using that, and while preparing for SBI, I used to keep a track of a note that so and so date, so and so circular was passed, and so was given. So I will just keep it in the some part of in my head. Okay, this was done on this much day. That's it. And while preparing for the SBI during the examination, I just went through all of them and use it. So some part of that knowledge helped me in clearing some of the questions. I'll not say all of them, but some of them. And also, basic banking questions was easier after that.
Right. So I'm sure you've got your answer, Praveen. He says that, while it's not really the practical experience and knowledge that you gain there cannot be applied in the objective test that you're going to face. But yeah, a large part of it. You will be, the good part is you don't have to really worry about your banking domain knowledge, which is what is tested in the mains exam, right? A good number of questions can be answered from your experience. And I think what really becomes easy especially while working in a bank and then appearing for another interview, is that your interview becomes a little, I would not say easy, but you gain some points there, right?
Yes.
It actually becomes difficult because you're working in a bank and they may ask you more difficult questions.
Yes.
But given that you have practical experience, you will have that confidence to
answer. You can answer more confidently, saying that this knowledge I have, this is from my work knowledge I know, and I can answer it this way.
Right. So I think where it really helps is in the interview. You get some bonus points without you realizing that it has helped you. So good. And there are other questions which I'm sure you've already covered, like how many hours per day did you spend in preparation and things like that, right? How did you use okay, there's this question from Vidya Rajan Hemant. It says, how you use the TS platform? Did you use it alone or did you also refer to other websites? So what did you do, Hemant?
I didn't get the PS platform.
So did you use, was TalentSprint the only source of your preparation, or did you also use some other websites? or
No, no.
refer to other websites
No,
for
I
getting
did use
information?
books from other resources because TalentSprint's material was good for me to have a practice or no to the ways. But for practice, I use question paper sets and other things.
Right,
Even the
right.
mock test from TalentSprint is good. But I used all kind of mock tests available outside. Some like a books from Arihant. I used books from Arihant for practice.
All right.
So I used that thing for practice. Apart from that, nothing much because the main thing what I did with my preparation was I planned how to approach the examination more while
Hmm.
preparing as well. So you can prepare everything you want, but when you're appearing in the exam, if you don't go with the proper approach, it will all doesn't work out in the end. So I prepare. No, whenever I'm attending a mock test or anything, I used to analyze myself that where I am lacking, where my speed is lacking, where my questions are becoming difficult for me, and I started working on those small kinks and this thing, and that's how somehow it gave a result in the end.
Right, right. So I think precisely to the question, while TalentSprint was the major source, he's left no stone unturned. He's tried as many mock exams or practice papers available even
Yes, yes,
outside.
I have
Right?
tried.
And I think that's what one should do, right? Practice is the key to success in these exams, right? I mean, that's what I believe, and I'm sure uh,
Yes,
that is true, right? So the
yes.
more you practice, the easier it gets. So while there are enough papers available, you can always try out practice tests available outside as well. Now, I think we are collating more questions, and there are more questions lined up there. But I want to understand, Hemant, what has been the most difficult part for you during your preparation, right? I mean, it can be like a subject which you dreaded the most, or what did you find it really difficult to get ready for?
Uh, I will say time management was one thing which was not the time management of the questions. Time
Right,
management of the planning for the preparation was itself was becoming hectic
right,
because working was something every day is not no is a usual day. Every day cannot be the same. Some days work would be very much hectic. I cannot come and prepare. In the mind I'll say, okay, today I didn't do anything. I would be lagging sometimes. I will say, okay, yeah, I had to do that much today itself, but I couldn't do. Somewhere in my head I know the planning whatever I had planned, when the plan doesn't work out, sometimes it feel like, oh, why am I so much training myself? But then sometimes days will be good. I get to come home early and then start preparing easily. So what I was focusing on that I had to crack somehow this exam, and I kept on working towards it no matter what, how much comes, how much goes. Because before getting the Canara Bank clerical exam as well, I actually wrote almost every exam, every banking exam, every SO exam, everything, but I got only clerical cleared. But what gave me strength is that if you keep on trying, success will anyway at some time you will get it. So that's what I kept on doing till now.
Well, that exactly was my next question in my head that I wanted to ask you. That how many exams did you fail, if any,
Yes.
before cracking the
Uh,
IBPS clerks last year? Because it's very,
uh,
very important for them to know that you have also seen failure. I mean,
if you want the exact number, 19.
sorry,
19.
1919.
Yes, I have cleared the prelims a lot of time, but I have failed the mains
Now,
exam so many times.
now that adds more to the inspiration that these guys should draw from human, because having failed a 19 exams,
Yes,
1919 exams,
yes, I have.
and
It's
still continuing to prepare is by itself a big achievement, right? Because
right.
like they say, the real failure is not when you fail. The real failure is when you refuse to try again, right? So
Yes,
you
I
failed
have
not once
written
or
like
twice or thrice, but 19 times and managed to continue.
before getting clerical, I was like writing every exam. You can say insurance,
Yeah,
you can say
yeah. I mean,
banking, you can say
the number
SSC.
tells the story, right? 19 exams in one
I
or
have written every exam, every public sector exam which you can bring in those times.
right. So that brings me to the next question that I have for you.
Hmm.
How do you tackle that failure? Because every time you see the result, there's a disappointment that you didn't make it, right? Be it by 1 mark or half a
Yeah,
mark or 2 marks, right?
and let's say
How do you
it's how
manage
you
to bounce
how,
back?
how do you view it? That's the thing. The no, the idea is in the how to view it. So when I lose it by 1 mark, I'll say, oh, I was short by just 1 mark. If I had worked for that 1 mark more, I could have cleared it that much easier. Okay, next exam I will do it. That's it. See, now I have cracked the SBI, but I didn't clear RBI this year. So I think I will apply RBI next year as well, and I will write. I don't mind applying once more.
Now, it's really inspiring, and honestly, I feel inspired, listening to you, Hemant, because you've put it very rightly that, it all depends on how you take it, whether the glass is half full or half empty, right? And
Yes.
you've always seen the glass half full, right? I mean,
Yes, yeah.
you've lost it just by 1 mark. So I'm
A
closer
little
is
more
what you
effort.
instead of
I'll just say,
seeing it as
little
a
more
failure.
effort, that 1 mark was be in. That's how I view it. That's
Yeah.
how. And I will just say that, see, whenever someone fails or anything, it's natural to be disappointed, but don't linger on it, because lingering on it doesn't get you anywhere. Better than that, analyze where you're failure, where you fail or where you lack, and start working on them. And ultimately, when you're overall ready, you will get it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And here we have comments coming in on your number there. Jay Murli says 19 times. Now I feel some courage and confidence. Well, while you draw confidence and courage from his story, you can do it faster also, right? There's
Yeah,
nothing wrong
look,
in
I failed
getting it
19
in
times.
fast.
I don't mean that everyone should fail 19 times. Please
Yeah,
don't take it that
yeah.
way.
But
When you prepare,
but
plan
there's a
it.
minimum number there. You can fail up to 19 times. At least don't give up before that, right? There's a number now. He's got it in his 20th exam, so you can try 20 times. Don't give up before that. And if somebody gets it, even later, much later, then please share that number with me so that we have a benchmark, right? 19 times is what you have to try. And I think it's such a coincidence, Hemant. I remember almost 3 to 4 years ago, I had one of our students by name Roshan Castellan, and he was also from Karnataka, by the way. He was born and brought up in Karnataka. He was from Hubli,
Okay.
right? And he used to work in the Indian Air Force as a technician, right? He left his job, or he did not leave his job. He was preparing for SBI PO while working in the Air Force, and he also got selected as SBI PO. Now, I had asked him the same question: how many times did you fail? And his number also was 19. He said, I failed in 19 exams before cracking SBI PO. So looks like there's some connection with this number 19 and SBI PO. So guys, don't get disappointed. 19 is the number, right? Like they say, that especially for salespeople, right? Out of 10, only one customer will buy, only one lead will buy a product from you, right? So you should be ready to fail 9 times. Then the 10th person will buy. So 19 is a special number, definitely a special number when it comes to SBI PO is what I can think of, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now I have more questions here, Hemant. And by the way, his my follow-up question to him also was the same, right? How did you manage this disappointment 19 times? So he's like, I used to just, and I'm just bringing in because it was a little funny and interesting to know. He says, I used to just drink and sleep 2-3 days off. I'm like, boss, ye mere se nahi hone wala hai. And then bounce back, right? So different people have different ways of looking at it, like you have said, right? And he was like, okay, 2-3 days, my preparation used to be like 0. I used to give up. But then I'm like, no, I will do it.
The day I saw the result, I would say, okay, this didn't happen.
Right.
Okay, today, one day, I'll not study anything. I'll just let it settle down. I will analyze it, where I went wrong or anything. I'll just see where I'll see the marks and see where it up and down. And then, okay, these were the area I need to work. Okay, let's start. Again, I'll just change the plan according to those needy areas, and then I'll start working on them.
Right. And we have Gautami Rani here, who says, for how many years have you been preparing? Well, 2 years is what he had mentioned, Gautami,
Yes,
if you were a part of this session since the beginning. Yeah. Okay, there's another question, and there's a little tactical, right? How were your doubts clarified is what they have a question for you. How did you get your doubts clarified, Hemant?
Most of the doubts since I was preparing from 2 years, almost before joining clerical exam itself, I had a talk with various teachers here. I have even actually spoken to Rohit before as well. I don't know whether he remembers or not. I have clarified my doubts.
Rohit is me.
Yes, with you as well. In a session, I had spoken to you about a few doubts as well. I have attended your sessions. At that time, I had clarified a lot of my doubts. And in these days, whenever I used to have a doubts, I would go to the live sessions again. Most of my doubts would be clear because same doubts would be many other people will be having, and they would be asked there. And anyhow, even if you don't have if you cannot attend the lecture also, I have there is a direct approach. You can post your doubt to TalentSprint and also get it cleared. So I have used that also. But most of the time I didn't linger on a doubt. If I don't get a time to approach TalentSprint, I will search it somewhere outside as well. So if I don't get anywhere, then I'll have to wait and invest my time here. So till then, that's how it's my approach. I don't know how others will be approaching that.
Good. Okay, here we have the next question coming in. I think it's time to kind of dig a little deeper now. Atriya Roy says, I'm getting confused in quantitative aptitude and reasoning. So please give me some useful tips on the same. as you have prepared for these subjects. So let's go subject wise now. Quantitative aptitude, if you have to give some tips to these aspirants, what would you say?
I would say the all areas of quantitative are very important. But the thing is, if you're approaching an exam, for example, let me say SBI PO, if you go through previous year's papers and everything, you can see there is a pattern. Not exactly the pattern will be repeated every time, but there are a few set of questions which will always be repeated. So if you can focus on them and if you can be very much sure of them, at least you can secure those marks in hand first. No, very much sure. If you have practiced that much, if you are very good with those areas, then you can focus on other areas to somewhat attempt it. So what happens is when you're approaching the exam, when you're actually writing the examination, these questions will be easier and your time will be saved there. It's all
Right.
in because these exams are always time sensitive. So we are we are fighting against the time as well as the score. So scoring while losing the time is how we manage the things. So if we focus on the areas in the quant, I used to focus on DI very much. DI, quantity, finding X and Y values, comparisons, and all those things I focus more because I thought that those areas are anyhow guaranteed. And if I score that much more, that much marks is secured for me. Others I will attempt in the remaining time. That's how I used. Excuse me.
All right. So Hemant's strategy was to kind of refer to previous papers because there's some pattern there which kind of reflects each year.
And also in sessions from TalentSprint also those areas are already covered. I mean, no, some say they will also whenever papers are discussed or questions are discussed, you always mention those areas like when DI is approached, how DI should be done, or whenever in a reasoning, if what do you call that? Sitting arrangement questions maybe or puzzles maybe whenever we know how to solve the puzzles, how to approach a puzzle, all those questions are there. So practice is one thing which is very much necessary. I would say practice is needed, but with the practice a little bit of planning to which areas you want to cover more and which areas you want to be very much very much strong enough, because there will be some areas which you will not be able to practice in the meantime, and when during the exam you may not get it. So better to give less time there and score where you can score most, because it's all about scores against the time.
Right. Yeah. So I think, I think reference to the previous papers definitely helps because that kind of gives you some idea about what kind of pattern it is. While it may not repeat each time, it's good to be prepared for it, right?
Yes.
So that when you walk into the examination center, you know that everything possible has been done, right? I mean, like I always say, these exams are not just a test of your knowledge. It actually tests your mindset. So how confident are you when you are walking into the examination center, when you take your seat? Is all these things really matter a lot, right? So if you feel like, okay, I've done everything that I could do, then you will obviously be able to perform better. Yes. And on the contrary, if you start getting some negative thought that, okay, I should have tried that, I didn't do previous paper, I should have not spent time on that particular area, maybe spend some more time, elsewhere, then you are the moment you start doubting yourself in your own preparation, you lose that confidence. And I think confidence plays a key role here.
Yes. Confidence is very much necessary.
Leave no stone unturned. Like he says, and find out what is important, like data interpretation or puzzles, very important for SBI PO. So he focused more on that. And I think quality key questions is what you had mentioned. Comparison of X and Y values is.
Yes. Because they are like straightforward. They are very easy mathematics. Right. And what happens is that if you don't plan the paper, those questions will be in the end. And what happens is that we start solving other questions. And then in the end, we will say, oh shit, we knew this question, but we couldn't attempt it. The time was over. Right. So if you plan it, you can score those marks and approach the exam.
Right. Very true. Now let me ask a question. I mean, this is from me, Hemant. How much is your numerical skills important for scoring more in aptitude, right? Do you really believe that doing calculations quickly helps you score more, or is it just a myth? Because I have always kind of preached that calculation is the key, right? If you're strong in numbers, you will be able to score more. But did you really find that to be true, or is it just like any other thing?
No. Let me say, if you want me to approach that question, I would say even that's where TalentSprint actually has helped me the most, I would say, because there's a section called Speed Maths in TalentSprint. Whoever is starting now for a banking exam, I would just say, please go through that section. Do not miss that section anyway, because that speed math, that is what helped me in improving my calculations. The faster the calculate, the earlier you get the answer, the easier the marks you score. Simple as that. So because calculations, the faster you do, numerical skills, the better you have, that much more time you can save, that much more marks you can secure. That's how. That's simply as that. As simple as that. because your speed maths, that's where actually in the TalentSprint I have used the speed maths most other than the other areas. Quantitative and all, I have I knew the logic behind it, but my calculation was slow beforehand. But I used the methods in the speed maths provided, and that where I practiced on most, if I say. If you want to know my personal opinion, speed maths is a session which no one should leave it, because that's the most important of all, this whole preparation.
Well, as usual, I'm really excited. For me, this is like a yay moment because I have proven myself right. I was only hoping he doesn't say that, okay, calculations are not required, because I have been telling that for years now to thousands and thousands of students. That
I had said the same thing in my, when I had the similar kind of a session for my Canada selection as well. At the same time also I said the same thing, that speed maths is very, very, very important. If anyone has not gone through it, go through it. I'll just say that.
Right. So the point is proven again, and my belief is reinforced now that numerical skills are really important. I mean, if you cannot multiply 32 with 48 without putting pen on paper, then you're not ready for this exam.
Yes.
Now, having talked about aptitude and reasoning, let's talk something about English language, because I'm sure English language is one section which is again read by many aspirants, right? They find it difficult, or they have this belief that they cannot score more. So how was your ability in that particular section, and how did you prepare for it? What really helped you?
Okay, I'm not saying my English is well, like I don't say my English is very good or anything, but the thing is, no, it doesn't matter. If you want to prepare in English, reading is the best option, I would say. Keep on reading, read newspapers, read books or anything. Invest half an hour a day reading a book, no matter what it is. Because, and also I personally do this. I used to do this. I will open a random page in a dictionary and read 2 words out of it, learn the word meaning. So what is that? It helps you increase your own vocabulary, and that's how English reading and speaking. You know, if you can try to converse with people in English, in the beginning it might feel awkward, but once you get the flow, once you know your vocabularies are good, when you can frame the sentences better, your conversation skills automatically improve, and that actually reflects when you start writing it also. So it's because now if you're talking about exams like PO and all, there's also a descriptive test where your English is tested. So yeah, English if you're weak in English, it doesn't mean that you cannot work on it. It's not rocket science or anything. It's easier. The more you approach, no, the more you use the language, the more easily you learn. That's how it is. So I would say read, speak, and if you want to learn more, or if you want to increase your vocabulary, read 2 words a day from the vocabulary. By the end of the 1 month, you have 60 new words in your vocabulary. So that kind of a preparation helps.
Well, yes, to summarize, like you said, it's not a rocket science, right? And whatever be your level of English language, just start reading a lot of English stuff and start speaking. I think that's very important, and learn new words a day. Now, if it is 2 or 10 is up to you, but yeah, keep learning new words a day, and reading newspaper definitely helps you a lot. I mean, not just in English language, but also
current affairs.
Yeah, current affairs and general awareness. And I think in my view, the day you start thinking in English, then you are ready. I mean, not ready for an exam. These exams are easy to crack. In my view, if you have to clear the cutoff in the English language section, it's not
easy. That much not a work. English cutoffs will be very easy. But why English? I would focus on English because I thought that's where I could score more easily.
Right.
English scoring marks in English is easier compared to other sections.
Yeah, and it helps in your overall personality development. I think you can present yourself better. It helps you in interview. It helps you in descriptive paper, like you rightly mentioned, and a lot of other things, right? I mean, you get a different level of confidence if you are comfortable in English language. So I think, there's no secret, there's no shortcut to anything here. Just keep reading, just keep learning new words, enrich your vocabulary, and read a lot. I think reading newspapers really helps a lot. And while Hemant says he used to pick up a dictionary and open a page randomly and pick up 2 words, it worked for him. But there are a lot of other apps available these days if you want to make use of it, right? And then why dictionary? I think you take the front page of your English Daily, a newspaper, and I'm sure you'll find at least 10 new words on the first page itself, on the front page itself, which you have no clue about.
Yes.
Think of those 10 words and start using it in language.
That's all.
Yeah, that helps. Yeah. And how about general awareness? Last part.
Newspaper. First
Newspaper?
thing,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely, because read paper every day, and current affairs wherever. I mean, I have, as you have said, I left nowhere, no stone turned. Where if it makes Twitter, wherever news is there, I would just go through it. I would watch news on the go. See, I would spend at least half an hour a day, news bulletins where whole day news is summarized and given in points. Those I used to go through it, and TalentSprint's current affairs session would be there. Like a weekly current affairs will be given
Right.
in a no, those sections I used to start reading, and then I had even made a no like monthly folders in my PC saying that okay, this day, this month, this week's first week, these are the materials. So
Right.
whenever I'm studying, I'll just open those PDFs, go through them once. Okay, just no memorize once a day, and that's the thing. Because if you know, if you keep it, if you use it every day, then you will remember it. That's why it's just a routine practice. Reading newspaper, and somewhere wherever whichever we read, whichever you have knowledge in your head, it will be useful. So current affairs preparation is only straightforward. Knowing your things around your news, maybe it be news, may it be talent sprints material, or even if it's Twitter, Facebook, wherever the news is there, just reading, just having hearing about it helps out. I even heard news sometimes on radio just because I didn't get time. I have done that also.
Right, right. So I think the answer is simple. I mean, know things around you, right? What's happening around you. Keep yourselves updated, right? Be it through newspapers or a news channel or some mobile app or radio. Like
Whatever.
it's
So no,
it
it
sounds
just
a
click.
little old school, but I'm sure when you're traveling, radio is one easy source of.
Yes, because I didn't have much network available. That's the thing.
Right, right, right. Good. I think very well used strategy. I would say. Now I have a question for you, Hemant,
Mm-hmm.
and this is like a little revelation that you have to do. Now that you have got your SBI PO job,
Mm-hmm.
or for that matter, when you had got your Canara Bank clerical job, did you still continue reading newspaper? Because I always say read newspaper,
Mm-hmm.
irrespective of whether you're taking these exams or not. Read newspaper because it's important, right? You can
Yes,
talk
yes.
about things to people around you, and that gives you some confidence, right? It's a confidence builder in my view. More than anything else, it's a confidence builder. So, do you still continue to read newspaper? This is not going to help anybody in the exams, by the way.
I
Just
know,
a
I know. So the thing is that, practically, I wouldn't say I would sit in the house and read the newspaper. No, I couldn't do that. But yeah, mobile apps were, as you said, apps which were I was using. In my one, as I said, I used to travel 1 hour, one from one side, 1 hour from the other side, right? So morning 1 hour is dedicated to that newspaper reading in the phone. So I'll just open the app, keep those
right,
pages saved as a screenshot, and read them till I reach my workplace. So at least that day's morning news is available to me, and in the evening I'll just and in the evening while doing the dinner I'll watch the news along with my father, and that was what I used to do for the newspaper. But yeah, during the before the examination and interview, I will sit and go through the last 3 months current affairs or materials at once. That
right,
was because since I was working, and the little bit time which I used to invest in that, I could prepare this much. So
right.
that's my way of approach.
Good. Yeah, I think it's very important, like I always say. And you should while you can use multiple sources or resources to get ready for general awareness or to be updated with the news items. Make sure that you read the right stuff, right? I mean,
Mhm.
I'm sure Ranveer Singh's and Deepika's marriage is not going to be a part of your.
No, definitely
Yeah,
not.
so try to
Please.
focus more on what is relevant for you.
Yes, relevant information
Wait by
always.
this useless stuff.
Yeah,
Not useless,
information.
very
Yeah,
important for them,
information
but
we get involves a lot of junk. So better clear out the junk and only take what is
yeah,
needed.
rightly said. A lot of junk is available. I mean, there were apps which were like really good earlier, but these days you find that half of the posts on these apps are about what's happening on Twitter, who has tweeted
Yes,
what, and
yes,
who's
yes,
got
yes.
married to who. And
Those things don't approach, and so it's
yeah,
very subjective. What is relevant to us?
true.
Preparation for examination requires what? Sports, politics, recent events,
Right.
banking oriented, banking affairs, those things.
Yeah.
So focus on those areas. My news and all would be focused on those.
True. True.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
those things I wish to cover up.
Right. Right. And there's this question from Praveen who says, eager to know which is your next target in terms of exam. I think he's mentioned that he wants to get ready for RBI Grade B, but what do you
Mhm.
say?
RBI, SSC, maybe any
SSC,
of them.
SSC, CGL.
Yes, still I had cleared up to level 2. I didn't clear level 3. So yeah, let's see if I can do that.
All right. So he has this plan, guys. So if you're preparing for SSC CGL, remember you have a tougher competition here because he's already cracked 2 of the exams and he's very good at doing that, right? And the only reason I believe he's good in doing that is because he takes his failures positively, right?
Yes.
Nilav has just joined us. He's been like wondering what is this number 19 that you guys are talking about, and somebody told him that 19 is the number of attempts that you have made before getting your first Canara Bank job. Yeah.
Yes.
So good. And he was curious to know about your age, which I'm sure doesn't really matter. And
I'm 27.
19 exams were taken in a span of 1 year or 2 years, guys. You know that a lot of competitive exams are held.
I'm 27 right now. Yeah, if anyone is want to know the age.
Sorry?
27.
Oh, he's 27 and he's got 3 more years of fighting with you guys in terms of the age criteria that we have. So
yes,
tough competition there. All right. Let me just skim through and find out if there are any more questions. There are a lot of questions. I'm just trying to pick up the relevant ones because there are a lot of repeat questions here. Yeah. So there's this comment here from Gautami which reads that exams are becoming tougher by the day. So how do previous papers help? Well, I would like to take that up, Hemant, on your behalf. See, I understand, and it's the fact that exams are getting tougher by the day, and the pattern is kind of changing consistently. But like I'd already mentioned, it's nothing to do with the type of question that will come in the exam or not, right? It is just to build that confidence, right? I'll tell you what actually is the game, right? The game is your confidence. When you go into the examination hall, when you take your seat, when the exam is about to start, how composed you are at that time, how confident you are at that time matters a lot. There are people who have done really well in mock exams, right? But they flunk in these real exams because they're not confident, right? So if you believe that only content is what is going to help you succeed, you're wrong. It's definitely a test of your knowledge and content, but more than that, your confidence, your time management skills. And that comes, now how will you build confidence? Only when you are happy with your preparation, only when you know that you've done everything possible. So I think from that point of view, preparing for previous papers is very, very important. Otherwise, it keeps bothering you or bugging you, right? That, okay, I didn't do previous paper, maybe I should have done that. And that spoils the game. So you are supposed to do previous papers, whether the questions repeat or not. Questions generally don't repeat, but you're supposed to do previous papers just for that sake of it, right?
If I want to add to Rohit's saying is that as Rohit said, content will only show you the way. But the thing is, you have to build practice and have confidence in your own abilities. Then only you can walk through those parts. That's it.
Yes, absolutely. Right. Okay. Anything that you would like to share about your interview experience, Hemant, before we take the call?
Okay. See, one thing, everyone, before interviewing, let me say, I was also nervous, nervous wreck. I'll not say I was very confident, but once I went there, my mindset was very clear that I should approach each and every question with the best of my abilities. And interview is nothing more than a conversation. I approached it as a conversation. I was feeling like I was having just a conversation with 5 other people, and they were asking me questions about banking, and they were testing my knowledge about it. So there was no pressure or anything. I didn't even feel it that I was giving to be honest, I was not feeling like I was giving an interview there. It was feeling like I'm just talking with a group of 5 people. It was that way. It actually helped me because whenever they ask me a question, whenever they want me to elaborate something, it gave me confidence to speak out. The thing is that the way you speak out, the way you express, the way you tell them, that's where gives them an idea that how much knowledge you have, how much you are approachable, how much you can explain things to them the way you know it. So it will. I don't think nothing more than that is necessary for this thing. And knowledge about current. If you're attending an interview for a banking exam, then of course your banking knowledge will be tested. And if you're attending for a interview for insurance companies, then your insurance knowledge will be tested. So relevant information preparation is necessary. Prepare accordingly, and then I'm sure everything will work out fine.
All right. So his view is that treat it like a conversation. I mean, it's nothing more than a conversation between you and 5 other people who are your panelists there. And if you have been preparing for general awareness and the regular banking stuff, you will be able to deal with those questions asked easily, right? Okay. One question that I have, and I'm sure many other aspirants would also have this doubt in their mind as to how do you deal with a question on your educational background versus what you're aspiring to do, right? I am sorry, I don't remember your qualification.
Okay. Yeah, I got your question. I got your question. Right. And to be honest, I got the same question as well. I did
Are you
B
a BTech in the first place? That's what I wanted.
engineering, B electronics and communication engineer. So
Okay.
yeah, so I did B electronics, and my first, believe it or not, my first question in SBI PO interview was, why banking after doing engineering?
All right. That's a
Okay.
$1 million question. Answer it now.
Yeah. So the question was simple, and I said, and even as you also one more, I would along with this, I will also tackle one more question which you asked, that about your educational background. So
Right.
yeah, to be so in after my B, I had taken a 1 year break. I
Okay.
had done nothing. I just went off, took up a core. I did attempt, my core engineering area, electronics and communication, and I had done a course as well. So there is a 1 year gap which I haven't done nothing after my engineering. I didn't. I was jobless, and then I started taking up examinations, and then cracked IBPS Canada. So when the interview, for the first question, the head of the panel asked me was that, why banking after engineering? Why do you feel this job is it the simple question he asked was, is it the salary, is it the status, or why? Why SBI PO? Why do you want to join us after doing engineering? I simply said, so it's not like I haven't no, not tried my own core area or anything, but the work life balance and also the financial security, and also that my future planning according to what I want to do in my life, all doesn't come out in my own core area, core educational background area, because the field that when I joined engineering was a different thing. Now it is a very different thing. So currently banking is where I was more, the next big thing for me to approach, and I joined it accordingly. That my preparation, my focus, everything I had diverted to only this banking examinations, and I want to build a career in through banking itself. So that's why I took up this. So that was my answer to him, and he didn't ask me much about it after that.
Right. So I'm sure all of you have got your answer there, guys. Why banking?
And
A very popular question.
to add one more thing that he asked, can your technical knowledge be used here? So I simply said yes. Even banking has a specialist officer who work technical aspects of the banking as well. So I said, if my knowledge helps in there, I would like to contribute in that field as well. So I'm flexible enough to work in both the areas. So, and I said, since being an engineering gives me both opportunities, so I would like to take up this opportunity. So that's what they are, and I think he liked that question. I think so. Maybe that also helped me in joining it.
Right. Right. So that's the answer which Hemant had to the $1 million question, like I said, right? Why banking is definitely a very, very important question, and you should have a reasonable answer to it, right? There's no right or wrong answer to such questions, but you should be able to justify why you're doing banking and
Yes,
why do you
I
want to
mean I
pursue.
give so there also I just give him my own picture. So
Correct.
everybody's approach is different. So there's no right or wrong. I give my what I felt right to him. I said this is right for me. So I answered him that way.
Right, very right. So I think, yeah, that's how he's managed that, and I'm sure what he said was absolutely right. Right. So yeah, that's where we are. There's a wall watch behind you, Hemant, which reminds me that I have to close the session. It's 5:40 by your wall, the watch that you have there.
Okay.
But any closing comment, because 6 o'clock we have another session coming up on reasoning for the upcoming bank and SSC exam. So I'll have to close here. I have a hard stop. But before we wind up, any closing comments from you, Hemant, to all these future aspirants?
Let's say, okay, I'll just say, uh, plan your examinations, prepare everything, and don't take failures to the heart, because failures is not end of the world. See, I was failed 19 times, and here I am sitting as a SBI PO. So somewhere, you might be someone who is next, working in RBI or anything. So yeah, keep on working where you are weak, and just plan your, preparation. Plan your preparation, because planning is one thing which helps, long way, and work on your weak areas, because if your weak areas becomes there, if your weak itself is strong, then you are overall ready to tackle any kind of examination. And of course, support is always given from the talent sprint area. So make the most of it, because there are many who don't even get this opportunity. So when you have it, use it to the fullest as much as possible, and good luck to all of them. Good luck to all of you.
Yeah, very, very well said, Hemant. I think support, whether it is given from TalentSprint or any of the coaching center, but the support is there in various forms. You just have to make the best use of it, like he has used the TalentSprint's platform. And like they say, failing to plan is planning to fail. So make sure that you you don't fail to plan. You should plan your preparation, is what Hemant says, and that's what he has done in cracking 2 of the most difficult exams. And never give up. I think that's one takeaway that I have from the session today, right?
Yes. I
Failing
mean,
19
don't
times
settle down. Never settle. Never settle.
Yes. So
Because till you feel that,
that
okay, I
reminds
have
me of
reached
the
the
one
bench.
plus tagline, but okay.
That's the same I am using actually.
Right. So never settle. Rightly said by OnePlus, and I think it's applicable in any genre or anything that you're trying to do. Right? Never settle, never give up, and just fight back. There's something big waiting for you guys.
Yes.
Right? So on that note, I would like to close it here. Thank you once again, Hemant, for giving us time for this wonderful session.
It's been a pleasure.
And I'm sure all our aspirants and all our students here are truly inspired by your success. I am definitely excited and motivated. I'm sure I'll use this video stream of yours to inspire thousands of other students. So thank you so much for being a part of this. Congratulations once again for cracking,
thank you,
I can say, the toughest exam in the country, given the competition that we have. And we wish you the best for your career ahead. Please keep in touch with us. And guys, that's the end of the session. Thank you so much for joining us on such a short notice. We will meet again in 10 minutes from now for your next session on reasoning ability for upcoming IBPS clerks and the SSCCL exam. So take a quick break and join us back at 6 p.m. I'll see you all in the next session. Bye. Thank you, Hemant.
Thank you. Thank you, Rohit. Bye.